So the chairman of the Intelligence Committee in June, a Republican, Richard Burr, and the vice chairman, Mark Warner, a Democrat. And in the Intelligence Committee, which I used to be on, they work in a bipartisan manner. By the way, I haven't stopped in that area. I am the ranking member of the Cyber Subcommittee of the Senate Armed Services Committee. But they came to Marco and me and said, we are really concerned about what we are learning of what the Russians are doing in Florida election records. And we suggest that you, Senator Rubio and me, write a letter to all the 67 supervisors of election. And we sent a copy of that letter to the Secretary of State, which is the Division of Elections, to tell them, and we had them approve the letter so that we were not saying something that we shouldn't. And what the letter said, you've got to take seriously. I mean, it even used language that talked about the Russians in Florida in 2016, and that it was continuing, and that this was a serious thing, and what they wanted us to do was to warn the supervisors that there was something they could do about it. And that was because, see, the Department of Homeland Security is not going to know if the Russians are in a local registration base. It's going to have to be the local official that has that registration base to see whether or not that they've been penetrated. But of course, they don't have the tools to do that. So we said in the letter, you need to get in touch with the Department of Homeland Security and or the FBI, and they will help you secure your database. You know the date of that letter? July the 2nd. That's 6 weeks ago. So the other day, when I was here in Tallahassee dedicating the VA clinic, Gary Fineout and Steve Bosquet talked to me before the dedication, and they say, what's going on? And so I told them, and I referenced the letter. So the bottom line is, you can sum it up like this. It would be foolish to think that the Russians are not continuing, since they were in our election records in Florida in 2016. What has happened since then is, and it's unfortunate, that certain public officials have been using this for their own partisan political purposes.
So surprised.
And so that's what it's all about. Now, the poor supervisors, they're saying, what counties, what counties? Because we said certain Florida counties. I don't know. I know what the warning was to me from the chairman and the vice chairman who helped write the letter, so we said it exactly right. Bipartisan, Republican chairman and the Democratic vice chairman. And so that is what's going on. Now, you have probably seen since, and let me just tell you, as the ranking member of the Cyber Subcommittee, you take a sophisticated actor like a nation state like Russia or China, they can get into anything. And of course, they're trying every day to get into the U.S. government, and sometimes are successful. So it's a cat and mouse game that we're, U.S. government, intelligence community, constantly, when we find a breach, then get in, try